Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Neek Nashay. And today's video is about how I got COVID. So I planned 2 trips. So my first trip was to go to New York to see my sister. And my second trip was gonna be, I was gonna go to Florida, just stay in like a resort, just to, bring in the new year and stuff. And then I planned on dropping my first YouTube video, which I did on New Year's. So the first one with New York, they have like travel bans right now where, if you need to go, you have to get tested. And if you get tested, or you have to like quarantine once you get there. So I took the test. I went and took a test, got tested. That came back negative, and that was right before my flight left. Went to New York, came back, and when I was up there, I also tested. Everything came back negative, so I was good. And I stayed with my sister, so she lives up there. Social distance and everything responsibly. Came back, and well, my mom came over for Christmas. So we spent Christmas together, and that was in between my other trip because I was about to take a trip to Florida. Well, unfortunately, I guess around that time my mom had been exposed to COVID. So when she came over for Christmas, I ended up, getting sick. Well, I didn't know until after, but that's when I was exposed. So some of the symptoms that I experienced, day 1 of my symptoms, which would have been December 28th, I had like a really bad headache. So it just felt like a sinus pressure. I have allergies and stuff, so I was just thinking like, oh, my allergies are acting up. Day 2, my symptoms, I had a headache, but the headache wasn't like up here, like in the normal part, like when you have a headache. It felt like somebody took like a bag of rocks and hit me in the back of the head with like the pressure just felt different. It was weird, and I was starting to get like fatigued and stuff. But again, I didn't think nothing of it because I didn't have a cough. I didn't have like any of the other symptoms. Like I wasn't losing my taste or anything like that. So I just thought, my body was just being weird because I had took the other trip. But, I tested negative for COVID, so I didn't know. And then the next few days, again, it was just like the subtle headache, just feeling a little off. On New Year's Day, so I was already in Florida, and I ended up spiking a fever on New Year's night. Or I think it was around New Year's night or New Year's Day. My fever came in at like 102. So I definitely knew, okay, I might, be sick with, And then when I came back home that Saturday, I was, still having a fever, still not feeling good, so I slept all day. When I woke up from my sleep on that Saturday, I would try to take a breath, and it felt like I had like a tightness, or there was something stuck like in my trachea or something. Like I couldn't like, fully expand my lungs and stuff. And then it became increasingly hard for like me to do stuff. So and now I know that my oxygen levels were dropping. So one of my coworkers told me to go get one of those post-ops. My coworker ended up telling me to go to the CVS and just get one of those post-ops. And basically it tells you, if you can see it, it tells you, what your oxygen levels are. So you just get it, put it on your finger, and it tells you. So took this, and I noticed that my stats started, like, I guess they said they're supposed to be 95 and above, and mines were in the 93, 92 range. So it just became really hard to like move. Like I was trying to walk my dog, I couldn't like walk. It felt like everything was taking so much energy. I was like talking really slow, so if you ask me a question, I'll just be like That night I did go to sleep, so I went and took the test, and I got me like some Tylenol and stuff to try to like doctor the different symptoms, because if you do have it, most of the time they just say, you know, you just need to try to treat the symptoms that you're feeling, but there's really nothing like that they can do. So when I woke up the next day, and so this is now January 5th. So my first day one symptoms, now that I'm thinking about it, was December 28th, and now this is January 5th. So I woke up and that pressure on my lungs got even worse. It became really difficult to like take a full breath of air. So I ended up getting hospitalized. So they admitted me into the hospital and put me on oxygen for a week, which was a very scary experience, being in the hospital, because, you know, when you're a COVID patient, you can't see anybody, nobody can come see you. So nobody even knew that I was in the hospital, besides like, you know, my mom and my coworkers found out because they had to come get my dog, and they were just watching me really closely because they could tell like if I would get up, my oxygen levels would continue to decrease, and so they would keep having to increase the oxygen that they had me on. Finally, my oxygen levels started to like pick back up, and you know, they took me off of the oxygen and, you know, sent me home. When I did get admitted to the hospital, I ended up having pneumonia in my lungs. You know, to think that I posted my first video on the 1st, and then a couple days later, you know, I'm in a hospital at the beginning of the year fighting for my life. So some of the effects is like, I'm still not all the way breathing. So I've been back out the hospital for like a couple days now, so it's been like 3 or 4 days since I've been out the hospital. I'm still like a little like nervous, and maybe it's just me, you know, personal anxiety, to like go to sleep or something. Like I just get so nervous like I'm not gonna wake up or something, so my sleep schedule's a little off. I don't feel like fully strong yet. Like I don't feel like I could walk you know, so many miles and stuff, but you know, I'm slowly, you know, trying to get my strength back. The doctor said like the you know, would be in my system probably, so there wouldn't be any point to like try to get retested to see if I test negative. But I'm working from home, so you know, I'm glad during this time like I still have the ability to be able to work from home and, you know, earn a living, because medical bills is definitely still there. Regardless of whatever you gotta pay the bill. They got me on blood thinners just because they said, you know, being in a hospital, you can like clot from not moving around or something like that, or that's one of the complications that COVID has also been known to do, is like do clots and stuff. So they put me on like some lung steroids, sent me home with that, sent me home with some blood thinners, and then some stuff for my stomach. My only advice to everybody is, with everything going on and you know, everything like increasing and stuff, if you can, stay home. You know, everybody's body reacts to this differently, and it's a very scary experience, because once you think of it like after you're going through it or something, even if it doesn't affect you like in a severe way, you know, because my mom had it and she was still able to like, you know, do all her recovery at home, versus like me, I ended up, you know, getting hospitalized. So it does everybody's body differently, and that's just something that you don't want, you know, on your conscience, especially like the people around you, your loved ones or something like that. And I know that there's a lot of people that don't have the opportunity to stay home, like they have to work, but you know, just be vigilant. I mean, it's not like we can see it or anything, because that would be better if we, you know, you could like see it coming or something, but you know, we're just fighting the air. You just don't know. And even though it's like, oh, 2 weeks or something, when I tell you that's like the longest time, because every day you're just thinking like, okay, what's today gonna bring? The anxiety alone is like, okay, what's gonna happen today? Well, how am I feeling? Oh, am I okay? Like, it's too many, it's too much. 2020, if it didn't teach us anything, it's like life is too short and things just change on the drop of a dime, like out of nowhere. So now that I'm like back home, things don't taste the same. So I guess that's one of the, also another symptom. Like my coffee, I can't really taste it. So I'll be drinking coffee and it's like, you know you're drinking coffee. It just doesn't give me the same feels, and I'm a coffee drinker. And like, even if I'm drinking water and stuff, I feel like I could taste like chemicals. From what I can tell, I really haven't lost my smell. It's just like, you know, regaining the strength in my lungs after having a pneumonia. You know, just the brain fog, like working through that and stuff. I'm an accountant, so, you know, my brain needs to like work and be sharp and fast, especially during this time. That's my, you know, story with COVID. I hope this helps somebody, or, you know, identify your symptoms. Again, stay home if you can. And thanks for watching my videos. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thanks for coming back. I appreciate everybody. God bless. So, alright. Love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.